Hello everyone and welcome to this video. My name is Abs and I'm going to be going over some of the notes that the administrator Cardine on the Apex forum has gone ahead and made in response to my video. So anyway, the administrator had a number of issues without trying wpserpfuel, and they were very clear to raise their issues with some bonus points as well. I totally went through every single point that this administrator noted, and I've gone through it in this video as well. The administrator has come back and they've said that they have exactly the same issues. So if you do still have the same issues of wpserpfuel creating pages that don't get linked to from your site, then that has been clearly answered in this video, so I don't understand why you've got that same issue. If you still have an issue of wpserpfuel creating pages where the links just stand out like a sore thumb, then I clearly mentioned that in this video as well and explained the situation to you. So if that's still an issue, I don't know what else would be. I don't know why that would still be an issue. And you also made notes of how it's very dangerous because it works with the best spinner and spin rewriter, which remotely don't create any type of content that is remotely passable or unique. Well, I don't want to mix up your words, so I'll actually use your words, just so that I can't get told. Okay, so the best spinner and spin rewriter have zero capabilities of automatically writing anything that could remotely pass a manual review. And then you talk about article builder as well. I went on and told you, well, you know what? We personally use article builder. We've got no problems with article builder, but I also mentioned to you, just because third party or just because applications integrate with third party sites or third party services, that doesn't mean you need to use them. So you don't need to use the best spinner and you don't need to use spin rewriter, but I'm sure that if we had Word AI, then that would be okay, Cardine. Is that correct? I believe it would, because I don't believe you'd be building something or you'd be talking about the best spinner or spin rewriter unless yours or the Word AI did have capabilities to automatically write something that would pass manual review. And if it does, then, you know, fair play to you. My best practices clearly note that, you know what, if you are using the spin rewriter or the best spinner, then verify everything instead of just saying yes, post. You know what, make the article revisions up, make the different versions up, and then go over it and verify everything, make sure it is humanly readable. Anyway, let's forget about all them issues because they're all covered in this video. Now let's go on to another issue that you've raised. Now the issue that you've raised here is about RSS feeds. Now the reason we're talking about RSS feeds is because that's how I tackled the first issue that you had. The first issue that you had was that wpserpfuel creates posts and pages that don't get linked to from your WordPress site, which can be very, very risky. I clearly mentioned to you though, hang on a sec, we actually create a RSS feed for every single one of these fueled posts, and we recommend you clearly link out to these RSS feeds. So let's see what you've turned around and said about the effectiveness of RSS feeds and wpserpfuel. Okay, so Abs, the creator of wpserpfuel, spends a large part of the video discussing how these pages are not orphan pages because of the blog's RSS feed. Okay, let me just continue and then I'll answer it. Okay, RSS feeds can certainly index a page, but they do not provide any authority or page rank. Is that true? Okay, and even if they did, okay, what one is it, Cardine? They don't provide authority or page rank, and even if they did, okay, anyway, let's continue. Even if they did, that authority would be gone. Okay, as soon as there are new posts and the RSS feed stops displaying links to the old posts. Okay, again, you're basing everything on assuming that the RSS feeds or the fueled posts are linked to from RSS feeds from your WordPress site, in which case I can understand your concern here, Cardine. I'm not saying that I can't understand it, but I honestly feel that you're very confused. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you why in a moment as well, because, you know, you keep relating and talking about PageRank. PageRank, we don't even refer to PageRank anyway anymore. It's antiquated, it's gone. We normally just talk about authority and link flow and sometimes we use other third-party metrics which are much better to gauge an authority of a website. But when you keep talking about PageRank, anyway, let's forget about that. Let's talk about this here. I feel like you're very confused, and one of the reasons I feel you're confused as well is because maybe you're not fully understanding how everything fits in together. When we talk about RSS feeds with what wpserpfuel does, then let me just take you over to this again one more time. What wpserpfuel does, it actually creates a RSS feed for every single, obviously obviously this is based on you having the Enterprise Plus edition, it creates an RSS feed. If not, then it creates another RSS feed, which is totally separate as well. But it creates an RSS feed for every post on your website. This RSS feed is not the RSS feed that your WordPress site creates. It's not one of those RSS feeds where when you add a post, regardless of what category it's in, then that post or that fueled post is going to go into the RSS feed. That's not how the RSS feeds work. Okay, these are RSS feeds that wpserpfuel has created. These are RSS feeds that, let me just show you, that give you control of how many entries you want that RSS feed to show. What that means is if you've got 100 fueled posts inside of this RSS feed. So if this RSS feed, let's say for example, this RSS feed is linked out to 100 fueled posts, you can have it and make sure, and wpserpfuel gives you the control to make sure that you can set this RSS feed to show 100 entries. And I've just shown you where you can do that from. You can do that from, oops, let me just get out of here. Oh, okay, you can do that from here, guys. Okay, you can even control how many characters you show in the RSS feed. In fact, wpserpfuel creates another RSS feed, which I haven't even mentioned, which goes out there and lists all of the other RSS feeds as well. So RSS feeds do actually work really well, especially if you know how to work with them. And we use RSS feeds to link out to from our posts. And when we do link out to these RSS feeds from our posts, Google finds them, they find the fuel pages, and they actually end up on our post again. And I'm going to actually show you in a moment why I feel you're very confused. Okay, but let me just, I hope this has explained the RSS feed part of it anyway. In terms of passing over ranking juice or link juice, I'm not looking at fueled posts for link juice. Okay, we're looking at it for relevancy, and I'm going to explain all this to you in a moment. And the reason, and the only way you're really going to understand this, Cardine, is if you understand the silo structure. And for this, I've got a number of sites already opened in front of me, which I'm going to pick out little snippets from to better explain that. Okay, let's just go on. Okay, so even with the RSS feeds, I still do not understand any usefulness that these posts offer. They are not passing any sort of PageRank or link juice. They simply exist with no authority of their own. Okay, Cardine, instead of me explaining it to you, let me ask you a question. Okay, if you've got this post here about garden ideas, and then inside of this post, or you've got all these other posts here as well, which are all revolving around garden ideas. Okay, now forget about link juice. What does this do? Come on, man. You must be able to explain this to me as well. If you can't explain it to me, then let me tell you, it boosts the relevancy. It reassures the whole content theme. Okay, we're getting benefits from boosting the content relevancy. The main topic is about garden ideas. Things that link to that are about garden ideas as well. We're boosting the relevancy. We're telling Google what our website or what this page is about by using these contextually rich pages and diverse anchor text that are revolving around this page. And we're telling Google even more. We're making sure that Google has no doubt that, you know what, this is about garden ideas, and all the posts that link to it in a special manner are about garden ideas as well. Okay, so I'm not looking at link juice. Forget link juice for a moment. Think about the relevancy boosting. Okay, and I'm gonna take you over to Bruce Clay's blog. Well, you know what, let's look at Theme Zoom first. You must have heard of Theme Zoom. They're very big on silos. I'm going to actually read something about silos to you from Theme Zoom, which actually tell you that silos, actually, let's start off on this one here. Okay, silos have two benefits, guys. The first one is you have a user experience. You're siloing everything together. A user comes to your site. Okay, let's start from here. A user comes to your site and they're on the garden silo page, and then they see that, you know what, they can find posts about back gardens and garden furniture and garden ideas. Obviously you're deleting these lines, you're deleting these links here, guys. Okay, so you can keep this proper silo structure. When on the fertilizers page, they can find out about organic fertilizer and whatever, all about fertilizers. So it's really good for your users because they're following a line. Okay, they're following a single route. But there's also a second benefit, guys. Now this is the benefit that I believe Cardine is missing. She's missing the whole, or he's missing the whole picture. I'm really sorry you're a female or you're a male, I really don't know. And I haven't really come across this name too often, so I do apologize. I don't mean to insult you in any way. But yes, what you're missing is this picture here, the SEO benefits. a well-organized website, one with a silo architecture. Okay, I'm not saying wpserpfuel creates a silo architecture, but what I do say is, in a weird kind of way, it silos every single post, okay, by using this way that I've totally explained in other videos as well. Okay, a well-organized website, one with a silo architecture, gives search engines a great deal of support. Look at that, it gives search engines a great deal of support about the topics that the website covers. In other words, Google will have a very good idea about what niche your website is relevant to. And Cardine, do you know what that means? Do you know what that means to silo sites? I'll tell you what that means. It means you need fewer external links to rank. And that's the honest truth. Let me go over to this website here. Okay, theme zooms. Okay, I actually highlighted it, so let me highlight it one more time. Okay, in a silo structure, there is a silo page with supporting topics under it, and all of the subordinate pages in the silo support the silo theme. They are similarly themed pages. And now here's an example. A peanut butter silo page has pages about smooth peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter, and raw peanut butter, and so on underneath it. Similarly in jelly as well. So it goes on to talk about jelly silos as well. Okay, so when all of your jelly pages link together, so for example, when all of our garden ideas pages link together, or when they link back in such a way that they're sending over the links back to the main silo landing page. Okay, so when they link together, it's easy for Google and other search engines to know the pages are about jelly, or it's very easy to know what the pages are about, okay, because of these supporting articles, okay, that it's about jelly. It's reinforced on site. So what's happening is your on site now is reinforcing your subject here. We're not talking about link juice. Forget link juice for a moment, okay? So you need fewer, look at this guys, so you need fewer inbound links to establish the theme. Okay, so what's happening here is linking internally allows us to tell Google even more, reassure our theme of our pages even more. So these fueled posts here are reassuring our main posts here. We're building more internal links, sending more signals to Google, because Google's going to find them. We're going to link out to them, okay, from each one of our pages, and Google's going to find these, and then they're going to be reassuring our main topic page as well. And again, Cardine, I'm going to get onto your point in a moment. Yes, we do recommend that you build authority and external links to these fueled posts, because it's only going to help reassure it even more and add even more value. I'm not telling you to forget about the way you do SEO at the moment or anything like that. All I'm saying is add this layer on top of your current layer. So you've got a layer like this on your website, make it into a layer like this, okay, and you will see the benefits you get just by being able to boost the relevancy of the main topics on your website by using the fueled posts, not by boosting the link juice. Okay, but yes, that's going to help even more. It works in two ways, you know, you'll get double the effect. And that's why we even say on our page, you know, we'll get even more power by creating links to them. Okay, so anyway, regarding your RSS feeds not passing any sort of PageRank link juice, you know, I don't care about that. We're boosting the relevancy. Okay, Ab did very vaguely mention building external links to these fueled posts. Okay, the very first thing that I want to mention to you, Cardine, is the majority of our users. Okay, like I mentioned to you, the majority of our users, the majority of people that are going to go over to this wpserpfuel page or this wpserpfuel sales page, they're not going to work with wpserpfuel and forget about everything they've done. I'm not trying to reinvent any wheels. I'm not trying to reinvent anything new. You know, I'm not trying to say to you, forget everything you've learned about SEO and only use wpserpfuel. I'm not saying that, okay? And it seems that this is what you're feeling, or it seems that this is, you know, this is the way maybe that I've interpreted your points on here anyway. Okay, so anyway, so you vaguely mentioned about leading to, okay, building these fueled posts, but then you go on to say, but this leads to another very important question. If you're building links to these fueled posts, why wouldn't you just build them to your main money post instead? If you're linking to a fueled post, which then links to your main post is getting far less link juice, and if you just link directly to your main post, the specific post requires some understanding and how the PageRank algorithm, you're talking about PageRank, you're talking about link juice. I'm not talking about that. Do you see where we're on different lines here? I hope you can, right? I'm not saying that you're wrong here at all. I can clearly understand why, if you want to rank if you want to rank this page, why you're going to be sending links to here? Why not send links to this page directly? I understand your argument, but you know what? Why don't you send links to this page and links to this page? What's wrong with doing them both? Okay, we recommend you do them both. But anyway, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually show you one more thing. Let me put this video on pause. I'm going to bring up another screenshot or another presentation. Okay, so here's the other thing that I've got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, I'm really sorry about this, but I'm going to give you an example. So this is your RSS feed. I hope I've got some social signals on here. No, I haven't. Okay, so have I got any on this page? I haven't. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly I'm just going to write social signals. Now these can be any types of links, okay? Then the reason we recommend social signals is because they just you know, it's very natural for websites to get links from social signals, especially hundreds of them as well. Okay, so what's happening here is, let me explain. Now, you already, the way you're working with your site, more than likely, social signals, backlinks, or PBN links, or whatever, they're pointing to your website, or they're pointing to your buffer sites, and your buffer sites are pointing to your websites, or you're pointing to your tier ones, or whatnot. Now, I'm not looking at these as tier ones, okay? I don't class internal links as tier ones. I class external links as tier ones. And now, I read your post on the Warrior Forum, and you're talking about tier ones. Why would you have tier ones on your own site? Well, you know what? I forget the whole tier terminology here, you know, but I don't refer to internal links as tier ones. But you could turn around and say, well, you know what, these are tier one internal links and then the tier one external links. It's entirely up to you how you want to look at them, guys, but I call these internal links. But these especially, I'm going to call them fueled internal links. Okay, so you're saying, why do you want to create links to these fueled posts, okay, when instead you can create links directly to the main post that you want to rank? Okay, so I'm going to put this in red. Let's put this in red and we'll just make it a bit larger. Okay, because you can send links directly to this post to rank it. So why do you want to send links to these ones? Well, what I'm saying to you is send links to this post, send links to these posts as well. But if you don't want to send links to these posts, then don't worry. You know why? Because this post itself is going to have a link to, let me just minimize this here. Okay, this post itself is going to have a link, to this RSS feed. So when you are building links to this RSS feed, or to this post, sorry, then this post is also going to be linking out to here. In return, it's going to be sending out to these posts here, and in return, you're going to get the whole relevancy factor getting boosted up as well. So what I'm trying to explain to you here, Cardine, is think more than just link juice. Think more than just PageRank. Okay, think more about relevancy, think about topics, and think about themes. Okay, and think about a silo structure. Now, I'm not saying that WP Silos creates a silo structure, as totally mentioned to you, but it takes upon and bases everything upon the same principles, okay, and the same topical relevancy. Okay, so when I said, yeah, I vaguely talk about building backlinks, then no, I clearly recommend you build backlinks to them to get even more power. Okay, so with that being said, with that being the case, the only reason that you would purposefully link to a site that links to your main post instead of just linking to your actual post is that you are worried about the incoming links are black hat and might get penalized your site. Okay, you're assuming so many things here, Cardine, man. You know, I really don't know what else to say to you other than the reason I'm recommending that you build links to these as well is because you've got other pages you can build links to now other than just your homepage. Okay, that's the only reason. And these pages are going to pass authority to to this page here. Okay, to the main page. That's why I'm telling you to build links to them. If they were black hat links, I wouldn't tell you to build links to them. I would tell you to build maybe links to your tier 2s or to your tier 3s. Okay, I wouldn't tell you to build links to these pages here, man. You know, it's a lot of your argument is based on assumptions, assuming that the feed is a WordPress feed and all of the posts are going to get taken away from there, assuming that everything's to do with link juice and link flow. No, it isn't all to do with that. But yes, it can. That does get added on to it as well. There's two benefits. You see, you get the contextual relevancy topics and you get the link flow and the link juice as well, if you do it the way that I recommend it. But if you're going to come out and write notes like this, then I don't know what to say to you. Okay, if that is the case, you're still putting yourself just as much at risk because the fueled post. That is not the case. It's not the case. We're not talking getting links from black hat places. Okay, forget black hat. We're not talking nothing about that. Okay, regarding article builder, okay, I went ahead and I actually looked at this as well. Talks about disapproving my claim. All this is telling me here is that this website used content that was duplicate content, or from, I don't know if it was from article builder or wherever this content was from. I didn't really pay attention to that. But what it does say, it says that it had thousands of pages indexed in Google, but it's just hardly getting any traffic. Now, I'm not worried about traffic. As mentioned to you, I don't care about traffic. All I care about are my contextually rich pages that are on topic to my main post, that are going to boost the relevancy of my main topic, are getting found and counted for. And if that means they're getting indexed, that means they're in the SERP. That means Google's found them and Google has indexed them. Whether Google ranks it or not, I don't care. But if your case study here was about getting duplicate content and seeing how duplicate content would rank in Google, then you know what? You're not really going to get very far, are you? Unless you've got an authority site and you're using duplicate content. If not, then you know what? I don't try to rank duplicate content. I'll tell you what though, John Ledger, who actually owns Article Builder, he ranked duplicate content on one of his webinars. So maybe that would be something to go and look into as well. So anyway, your arguments on Article Builder, you know what? If you don't like it, don't use it. Okay? Ignore my points here. I just tell you the facts. Okay, and what my facts are. Okay, so my conclusion, here you go again. Okay, with all that being said, I still have the same major issues I had before. Okay, if you still had the same major issues you had before, then my previous video hasn't done a good job. If that hasn't done a good job, that means it hasn't explained how the pages aren't orphaned, or it hasn't explained how the pages don't get linked out to. It hasn't explained how you don't have to use the best spin and spin rewriter. It hasn't explained how the link gets placed in, you know, you can have your sidebars and that on there as well, and about footprints and whatnot as well. So anyway, let's continue with this conclusion here. Okay, Ab says that he doesn't quite understand what I mean when I say the page rank has to come from somewhere, and wpserpfuel just tries to imagine it out of thin air. I still don't understand that. Okay, so I will try and rephrase this for him. Hey, thank you very much. Okay, wpserpfuel does not create any links from any external sites. That's true. It doesn't. If you go over to the sales page, oops. Okay, if you go over to the sales page, the very first thing you'll notice, it'll say using internal links that you control. Nowhere do I talk about external links, man. Cardine, you're getting confused with strategies that you're already used to maybe. This is something new to you. You haven't fully digested it to understand it and appreciate it. I don't expect you to change your mind, as you've noted on here as well. Regarding this challenge, I'm going to get onto this challenge in a moment as well, or whatever this is on here that you've asked me to do. But I'll mention that in a moment anyway. Okay, okay, so you can create all the fueled pages you want with all the complicated interlinking structure you want, with all the indexing from RSS feeds that you want, but your site still has 0 external links. Cardine, man, honestly, man, you're getting pretty confused here, aren't you? Okay, and as a result, you have added no external authority. Okay, Cardine, you know, I think what you've done is come over to wpserpfuel and you've thought, or by looking at this, you've thought that I'm bringing up a solution which, if you use, puts everything else out of the window. You don't have to go out there and you don't have to build external links. You don't have to go out there. You don't have to do nothing else, nothing like that. Remember what the wpserpfuel technique does. It's like a site within your site. Now, your site, do you build links for it? If you do, then continue to do that. This is what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to go out there and use wpserpfuel and forget about everything else you do. Okay, so them external links, external authority, you want that. I clearly say that. In fact, we have tools that build external links as well. Okay, because we understand the importance of external links and internal links as well. Okay, that Google can use to judge that your site is a high quality site. Just remember, external links aren't the only thing that tell Google that your site is a quality site. You should know this more than anyone else because you own Word AI. Okay, Google only gives you authority from an internal link if the page that the link is coming from has some authority to pass. Okay, again, we're not talking about just passing authority as in the form of link flow. We're talking about content relevancy. We're talking about topical relevancy as well. Okay, consider, and once you do add the once you do add the social links and the other links to your fueled posts, then you will see that they do have authority to pass as well. Okay, considering the only links that these fueled posts are getting are temporary and internal links. Okay, temporary if you base it on your argument that it's using the WordPress RSS feed, or the RSS entries are going to be gone. So again, that's flawed again, Cardine. I really don't know what to say, but what I am going to say to you is that I don't have any more time to keep coming on here and explaining myself, and if anybody else does want a better explanation, or if they want to raise any more concerns, then by all means get in contact with me personally so that I can come and explain it to you. But what I will say, it's not my style to come on forums and really talk about products, and other people in the past have also said things about my products which don't really make a lot of sense, exactly like this, maybe from confusion, and I haven't really said anything about it. But being Cardine, the owner of Word AI, and being in a position of influence, I feel that the way that they have approached this review of wpserpfuel is not in the best way that they've approached it. They've approached it without reviewing it firstly. They've approached it and they're confusing not only themselves but others that are reading this as well. They're not looking at the bigger picture of SEO. They're only looking at the picture of backlinks and link juice and PageRank. They're not looking at topical relevancy, which is what, if you go over to wpserpfuel, then the whole page is all talking about how your page helps boost your main pages because of the contextually rich internal links in the pages and the relevant text that you're putting on there as well. Okay, we're not talking about just PageRank and this, and yes, we do maybe talk about it a little bit, but we talk about it when we get on to building the links and that to your fueled posts. Okay, now Abs could easily respond and say, well, you should be building links to these fueled pages. I do, and I say that before, and I respond by saying, because you use wpserpfuel doesn't mean you forget everything else you're doing. If you got PBN links, continue to do them. wpserpfuel isn't gonna, it does two separate things. What else can I say to you, Cardine? But I was promised on the sales page that wpserpfuel would increase my rankings by itself. Okay, what I say on the sales page, let me show you. I actually say use it on two sites. I'll tell you how you can benefit, yeah? Let me see if I can find that note on here as well. Okay, get an even better ranking for already ranked content and get any new site a flying start. Okay, I didn't say guaranteed whatever. Okay, so I'm saying use wpserpfuel on old sites to boost already ranked content. wpserpfuel will build content-rich internal links, boosting rankings even more. Okay, and use wpserpfuel on new sites to give every post you create a chance to rank in Google like never before. And the reason I'm saying these 2 points here, guys, is based on you understanding how the silo structure works, how content relevancy, how topical relevancy, how reassuring your theme and your main posts and internal link building does help. Okay, and by no means have I said that using it by itself you're going to get these, but I do say it's definitely going to help. I don't guarantee any rankings at all. In fact, I don't actually show any proof on here of any earnings or any ranking claims either. I leave that to you to do and decide based on the facts that I present to you. And again, guys, I don't know how more transparent I could have got. Like I mentioned on this page, I actually even mention how we ourselves are using the Enterprise Plus edition, and the Enterprise Plus edition isn't even sold on the front end. And I explain in the PDF guide and 2 nice videos with explanations of exactly how the process works. So the idea of this sales page was to educate you, was to show you some benefits that you can get by using this, and then to present you with a solution. Whether you use third parties to use these solutions or not is entirely up to you. Okay, okay, so not saying any even you're blinding. Okay, building links to these fueled pages, you would better off. Okay, where are we? I forgot where I was. Okay, now Abs could easily respond. Okay, we said that. Okay, if wpserpfuel is not creating any links from external sites, then they aren't increasing your site's authority. Even if you are building links to these fueled pages, you would be better off building them either to your main blog post So the links are going right to the page you are trying to rank, or they should be built to a tier 1 site on a different domain so that your main site doesn't run the risk of being penalized by a review. Just remember, we're not talking nothing about black hat links here. So your whole argument here is based on not building links, or if you are building links to the fueled post, then because they're coming from black hat, or it's because it could be coming from black hat places. You know what, you're assuming too much. None of it is the case. Okay, I will give wpserpfuel some credit. Thank you. Okay, after Abs spent a large part of his video talking about how you should manually edit all of your posts, I went through his sales page looking for any instance where he promised that wpserpfuel was an autopilot tool, and I couldn't find any. Cardine, you know what you're basically telling me here? You're telling me here you're trying to look for issues. Okay, I don't blame you if you're trying to look for issues, because you want to raise the issues, but it's also telling me you're trying to look for instances of where I promise that it's going to be an autopilot tool or something, maybe trying to class me again with other kind of launches, like you did here as well. You clearly made notes of you don't like the urgency factor of special time launches offers, and you hate the way that they're done, and you even went on another post talking about how users can justify, or how vendors can justify selling products that are one-time fees, because as a user you hate paying subscriptions, but you also appreciate that how things can get updated. Well, all I got to say to you, Cardine, is a couple of things. Firstly, wpserpfuel is a WordPress plugin that's run on your server. If we charged a subscription for that, we wouldn't be able to justify it. Secondly, we have developers that continue to develop tools today, tomorrow, next month, and hopefully for long to come as well. You know, we've been developing tools for long to come. If we have any issues with wpserpfuel, we use it ourselves. We'll get it updated. Okay, and I think on the sales page as well, we actually make notes. You get full updates for a full year. Okay, standard plugin updates are included free of charge for the first year. But you know what? Most of our tools say that, but we continue to update our users after that year as well. Okay, okay, so thank you very much for that credit there. Brilliant stuff. Okay, one of the big goals of Apex Forum was that data matters more than reputation, and that includes my own reputation. This should be evident by the culture of this forum. And then it goes on to read out some of these. So Abs, if you think that wpserpfuel will help you rank your site, I would be happy to do a case study with you where we create 2 brand new sites with the same amount of content, and the content for your blog is posted on your blog with wpserpfuel exactly as you described in the above video, while the content for my blog is posted on tier 1 properties with any Web 2.0 creation tool. Cardine, question. Is that a fair case study? Or would this be a fair case study? You create a site like this, and I create a site like this. We're not using external links here, are we? We're basing it on your site. Forget external links, like you said yourself, yeah? So why would a fair case study be a site like this, and then a site like this from using external links? That's not the way it is. A fair case study would be creating a site that uses fueled posts and a site that doesn't create fueled posts. And if you're going to do any external links, then you do external links to both of the sites. So you know what, your case study there and whatever there is flawed as well, because it just doesn't make sense to do a case study like that. Okay, besides those pages, neither of us are allowed to build any additional links. You know what, I think the best way to do something like this would be to go away. I myself could go away personally and create the 2 pages, and then not reveal them to anybody. When the case study is done, then reveal the results. This way I know no outsider would have or would be able to influence them rankings, or in a negative or a positive manner. But yeah, you know what, this case study just doesn't make sense to me, because one of them is based on using external links, and one of them is based on using wpserpfuel, when wpserpfuel is like an addition to your main website. So and external links are bringing authority from the outside. So it doesn't make sense to me. What would make sense to me would be to do a blog like this, and then to do a blog like this. Okay, and then see what the difference is. And I can assure you that wpserpfuel is going to win almost every single time. And the reason behind it, if I haven't explained it properly, should be simple. And the simple reason is is two things. One, these contextually rich pages that revolve around the main post, they support that content and the theme. It has topical relevance, and they internally link to it using diverse anchor text. This itself here is already telling Google and making sure that Google has no doubt what this main page is about. Remember, this is the page that we're looking to rank. And in return, if you are building external links, what you will also notice as well, as we read on Theme Zoom here, is that you will need fewer inbound links to establish this theme. So Cardine, I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to say two things to you. The first thing I'm going to say to you is we didn't release wpserpfuel, and we didn't expect any of our users to take from wpserpfuel or the sales page that this is a plugin and this is all you need. You don't need to do any inbound linking. You don't need to go out there find external links or whatever. That is not what we had in mind. If that's what you found from our sales page, then I clearly apologize. But I personally feel, okay, that you have a massive misunderstanding, firstly, of what the plugin done, and now you've got a massive misunderstanding again on how it actually comes together to get results. And the way it does this is, as mentioned to you, think about the silo technique. And yes, talking about PageRank, talking about authority, talking about link flow and link juice, as soon as you start building them external links, can you not see how everything would flow? I certainly can, and I explain it as well how it flows, and I explain it in a number of videos as well how everything flows. You know, if you have links being built to here all the time, okay, and you're linking out to all of these, okay, so let's say for example say you don't build links to your fuel post, but you build links to your main page. When you're building links to your main page, you're automatically passing over the authority to these pages here. So everything's working in a nice circular silo manner. Exactly what we want. So anyway, your conclusions, your drawings, your understanding, what I have to say about it is it's totally wrong. And with you being in a position of influence and you know, talking about just links and talking about, talking about how everything looks like, it's being manipulative and how it's not getting linked out and how everything looks bad, and then you trying to go out there and look and hunt down on the sales page that I'm maybe it's an autopilot where I promise it's an autopilot plugin or something, just shows two things to me. One is that you haven't understood this at all, and two is when I replied to your queries, you didn't like it, so you went on the sales page and tried to pinpoint even other issues, which fortunately you wasn't able to find. So anyway, Cardine, I'm not going to be doing any kind of case study with you for the sole reason because this, first of all, doesn't make any sense to me, and with this user as well, Anaconda, I appreciate the user coming back and making notes, how they appreciate me also making notes of this argument that Cardine's made as well. What I have to say is you know what, it isn't normal for me to do this, and I'm sure it's not normal for Cardine to say something about other people's products as well, where I must note though, it does look like she or he does have a problem with quite a few, or anything that's in competition with them. So maybe somebody on the Warrior Forum did actually point out as well that, you know what, if wpserpfuel did work with Word AI, then would this administrator have actually made any notes like this? We don't know. And you know what, maybe Cardine's going to come back with another reply. But anyway, Cardine, if you do come back with another reply, please don't try and do any case studies with me, because I've got many other things to do. I have fully explained every single point that you've made on here, and then I've gone on to explain every point that you've made here as well, and I'm sure you can pick out 101 more points as well, in exactly the same way that I said to you that with Word AI, I am sure that we can use it for 101 spammy things as well. But what you need to take away from this, and what you need to take away from every tool, is that the person person behind it, the user behind it, is in full control, especially if the tool provides you that control. Maybe you didn't know that the RSS feeds provide you control so that you can keep entries in there, even up to 500 entries in the RSS feed. Maybe it's not a good idea, and maybe it's not a good idea to create 500 internal links to one page as well. But you know what? You have that control, and you, as the user, can do that. You also, as the user, can go out there and use this plugin in a spammy way. You can also go out there and create all these fueled posts and not link back to the RSS feed, in which case it can look very, very spammy. So anyway, yeah, so Anaconda, what I can say to you is, if you are on my list and you have any more concerns, or you have any more questions, or anyone else that reads this as well, if you have any more concerns or any questions and you just want a little chat, just to make sure, or you maybe haven't understood my video, or maybe you've been confused by Cardeen's points of views as opposed to my points of views as well, then in which case you can contact us at support@wpserpfuel.com, and our support team will be more than happy to answer any questions. And what happens with support, guys, is if they can't answer something, then they'll pass it over to me to answer. Now, if it comes down to WP Serpfuel and you want to get in contact with me personally, then in the email, all you have to do is say, support, please pass this email personally to Abs to answer. In which case, support will pass it over to me. So you know that you've got my direct reply from me. Now, I'm not going to be replying to any more of these comments or anything on here as well. You guys can make your own conclusion. You guys can draw your own conclusions from this as well. But yes, to me, it seems very, very clear that Cardeen is somewhat confused. They keep talking about link juice and Pagerank. They're not talking about anything about relevancy. They're missing the whole silo theme of things, and how content and how having relevant content on your website really does say stuff. I mean, have a look at backlinks, for example. In 2010 or 2011, you could go out there and get backlinks from hundreds of different websites with hundreds of different, whatever the topic was, it really doesn't matter. Maybe even now you can do that as well. But when you get a backlink from a relevant website, then it has so much more power. And that's why when your website itself has internal links contextually linking using relevant content to the main themed post, then you need fewer of these backlinks, and that's why it all comes together to build such a good and super site. It's like a site within a site, like I mentioned before, guys. Now it's up to you to link out to that site, and that's how you do it all using our best practices. So anyway, Cardeen, thanks a lot for all your comments. And you know what, the only thing that I could really appreciate now is if you did take anything away from this video, if you did find that my questions do reply some of these issues here, such as, the issues that you found with WP Serpfuel, then remove them. That would be the wisest thing to do, especially being a moderator on your own forum. Otherwise, you know what, leave them there. It's entirely up to you. And hopefully this video will get on this post as well, so people can they can make their own mind up. So anyway, thanks a lot, and I don't blame you for raising these points. But yeah, that challenge of yours, or that case study of yours, makes no sense to me, so I won't be participating at all.